Heavenly Father, I forgive those that have sinned against me. I confess my sins. I ask you to help those who have anger issues. Help them to be willingly, truthfully, totally, and completely forgive those that make them mad quickly. Help those people who regularly get mad at anyone. Help us to be kind, loving, and forgiving toward them. Whenever two people get into an argument with one another, please help them to forgive and overlook it as quickly and as often and as frequently and as totally, completely, and much as possible. Whenever two people have a disagreement, I ask you to give them wisdom on how to prevent it, because your word says in James 1, if any of it, when we lack wisdom, you will give it to us liberally. So I'm asking this for myself and all people who are hot-headed or who argue with anyone frequently. No matter who it is, no matter how often they argue with anyone, and no matter how often they may argue with the same person, no matter how often they may argue with the same person, and or group of people, no matter who they are or how they know them, and no matter how often they may see or talk to them for any reason. Help us all to forgive and to forget. Help us to make compromises, and help us to never hold a grudge. For those of us who may be holding a grudge right now, help us to permanently stop holding that grudge from now on, no matter what. For the two people I know who had an argument on Christmas Day, even though I don't know what the argument was about, I ask you to help others to never argue the way the two people I know did on Christmas Day 2020. So, Father, please help us all to prevent arguments. I ask you to cause the lost to prevent arguments among themselves, and I ask you to help us Christians to prevent arguments with other Christians. Father, please help Christians to prevent arguments with other Christians, and I ask you to help non-Christians to prevent arguments with each other. I ask you to help Christians to also prevent and avoid arguments with non-Christians. I ask you to help non-Christians to prevent and avoid arguments with Christians. I ask this for myself and everyone on earth, including but not limited to the people I know whose argument I heard about just before I made this video. I ask this in Christ's name. Folks, no need to thank me. Please let me know in the comments below if this helps and how frequently this helps. And also, if you don't care, let me know how big or how bad of an argument this video and this prayer helped prevent. Thank you. Remember, no need to thank me, only thank the Lord. And also, remember, no one is perfect. Romans 3 says, "For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God." John 3:16 says, For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever would believe in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Under no circumstances he will never leave us nor forsake us. Hebrews 13 says, he will never leave us nor forsake us. No need to thank me. I hope this helps.